If you're hiring more SDRs because follow-up is slipping, you're about to make it worse because you're scaling the exact thing that's breaking your pipeline. The hidden cost isn't missed touches, it's missed context, duplicated outreach, and leads quietly dying in your CRM while payroll goes up. I'm Bob, founder at RevSync, and I've built a RevOps system that stops revenue leakage at the source. Dirty CRM data, unclear ICP, and follow-up that isn't coordinated across email, LinkedIn, calls, and retargeting. In the next few minutes, I'm going to give you the 3 mechanisms that make follow-up degrade as you add SDRs and a new system that makes your current team look 2x sharper without hiring anyone. We're not talking about work ethic or better reminders. We're talking about why headcount is the most expensive way to patch a system leak and how to fix the leak so follow-up becomes automatic, consistent, and impossible to screw up. The industry's default answer is always the same. Just add more SDRs, hire more people, and increase activity. You'll get more meetings, and that advice sounds logical until you see what actually breaks when more people touch the same leads without one shared operating system. The old way is treating follow-up like a human effort problem. More reps, more touches, more checking in, more chaos. The new paradigm is treating follow-up like a coordination problem. One source of truth, one priority model, one omni-channel sequence that adapts based on what the lead actually does. Okay, so mechanism 1, handoffs multiply and handoffs kill momentum. Every time a lead moves from inbound to SDR queue to AE booked, you're betting the context survives the transfer, and most teams lose that bet daily. When you add SDRs without fixing the system, you don't create more follow-ups, you create more handoffs. Here's what it looks like in real life. One SDR thinks that a lead came from ads. Another thinks it was outbound. The AE thinks it was a referral. And the prospect gets 2 messages that feel like they're completely different. That's not a copy problem. That's a continuity problem. Follow-up is not a task list. Follow-up is a conversation with memory. And memory dies the moment the CRM becomes a junk drawer full of duplicates and missing fields. Imagine adding more waiters to a restaurant where the kitchen has no tickets and the tables have no numbers. The dining room gets louder, service gets worse, and customers leave annoyed. Not because you don't have enough staff, but because you don't have a system in place. Pull up your CRM and pick 20 leads that went cold in the last 30 days. Then answer one question. Can you see the full thread of what happened without opening 5 tools and guessing? If you can't, hiring another SDR is just hiring another person to guess faster. Mechanism 2, more SDRs amplify dirty data. So you get faster at chasing the wrong people if your ICP is poorly defined or outdated. Adding SDRs doesn't increase pipeline, it increases the volume of misfires. And this is how you end up with busy calendars and low close rates because you were generating motion, not momentum. This is why teams feel like outbound stopped working. It didn't stop working. You just scaled inconsistently. And inconsistently always shows as low conversation. The real killer is that reps default to urgency instead of value because systems don't tell them what to prioritize. The old belief is activity fixes pipeline. The new reality is priority fixes pipeline. And priority comes from a scoring model that ranks accounts based on fit, engagement, and buying signals, not who yelled the loudest in Slack. If your reps can't instantly see which leads are the best fit, which are noise, they'll spend their day on the easiest to contact leads. That's why hiring more SDRs makes follow-up worse. You're paying more people to spend more time on low quality work. Take your last 10 close won deals and list the top 3 signals they shared before they booked the meeting. And then compare that to your current SDR follow-up queue. If those signals aren't visible inside the CRM, you're not managing pipeline, you're managing hope. If you want follow-up to run on data instead of gut feel, book a call and we'll break down how to install predictive lead scoring in your CRM. I've left the link below in the description. Mechanism 3, more SDRs usually means more channels, and channels without coordination turns into self-sabotage. Everyone screams omni-channel, but almost nobody builds the logic that prevents a lead from getting double tapped in the wrong order. So the moment you add people, the prospect experience gets worse. Here's the common failure pattern. A lead replies to email with "not right now," and an hour later, they get a LinkedIn DM that ignores that reply and restarts the pitch. Now you didn't just lose a deal. You trained a buyer not to trust your process. The old way is running email, LinkedIn calls, and retargeting like separate campaigns. The new pattern is one coordinated conversation where systems stops, adjusts, or rouse ownership the second the lead engages. If your sales motion is an octopus punching people from every direction at random, then you're not omni-channel, you're just annoying. Real omni-channel is staged and coordinated. One touch earns the next touch, and engagement in one channel suppresses noise in the other. Pick one channel, email, and define a single rule. If they reply, all other sequences pause within 60 seconds. If you can't enforce that rule, technically your team is doing manual coordination under pressure, and manual coordination always breaks at scale. This is why I'm blunt about headcount. If your CRM is dirty, your ICP is fuzzy, and your channels don't talk to each other. Adding SDRs is the most expensive way to hide a leak for 30 days. And the leak gets bigger, and you call it market conditions. What we actually do inside RevSync is boring, surgical, profitable. We audit and cleanse the CRM, enrich it with real-time filmographic, technographic, behavioral data. We refine the ICP dynamically and install predictive lead scoring, so reps stop wasting time on the wrong accounts. Then we build the automation layer that makes omnichannel behave like a single brain. That means cross-platform integrations so campaigns communicate with your CRM. Data stays updated and your team isn't accidentally double messaging warm prospects. Here's the punchline. Hiring SDRs doesn't fix follow-up because follow-up isn't a staffing problem. It's a systems problem. And systems don't magically improve when you add more humans. They get exposed. Look, you just saw how much coordination has to happen for follow-up to work across channels without ruining the buyer experience. If the risk of getting this wrong is high and you're tired of burning good leads because your CRM, ICP, and sequencing logic aren't aligned, that's literally what my team installs every single day. If you want this fixed fast, book a strategy call using the link in the description below, and we'll map the exact leakage points in your follow-up system and what to install first. CRM audit, enrichment dynamic, ICP scoring, or omnichannel automation. We'll tell you.